Hello, good day, and welcome to this Cinema 4D tutorial. Today, this is what we're going to be creating. We're going to be creating this logo, and also we're going to be animating it. We'll create this logo from scratch, and we'll animate it, the animation and the creation of the logo. You can see this logo has a bevel here. There's this white line around this. You see the white line, you see the reflection, and the background. Then see as it goes. Then the text animation, you see the way the text comes in, the text animation. So we're going to be creating all this from scratch, and it's a beginner tutorial. So if this is your first time with Cinema 4D, you're welcome. You're welcome, because I'm going to make it beginner friendly, so you can join me and you create this even as a beginner. Okay, with that said, let's get started. So first, when you open Cinema 4D, it opens like this. Don't know the version you're using, but it opens like this. So you first come with me, you come here, the pen tool, you click and hold, then choose the rectangle. Now with this rectangle selected, this is the rectangle we're going to be using. This rectangle, then I think you can increase the width. Come to the width here, you can increase the width to 600 to make it wider. 600 is okay. Then you make this editable. So you come here, you click this, you click this, you click this to make it editable. Then you choose the point. Then I'm going to select this first point, this top point by the left, and you hold Control and you click the one by the right. Sorry, you hold Shift. You hold Shift and click the one by the right. That's the 2 points. Or better still, let's click out. You can open the viewport, expand the viewport, choose the front view from the front viewport. Select the rectangle selection tool, then click and drag these 2 points on the top. These 2 points on the top. So let's go to the front view. Click and drag these 2 points on the top. Then you right click, and I'm going to choose the chamfer tool. This tool here, this is the chamfer tool. Then you click, this is the chamfer. With the chamfer tool selected, you click and drag. So just click and drag. Click and drag with your mouse. As you're dragging, you see it's curving, give you that curvature. At the same time, you can see the radius is expanding. The radius is expanding. So we can just click and drag, or you can come here and choose 40. Just say 40 and press enter. So now that's 40. Go back to the live selection tool. Then let's look at this from the perspective view. And this is it. So you can click this. You can click this here to rotate and look at it. Look at it. This is it. So with this selected, we're going to make this 2. We need it to be double. So we'll go back, choose the model tool. Then this, we're going to make this, we're going to duplicate this. So you click this, then hold your Control key. If you're using Windows, you hold your Control key, you click and drag. When you click and drag, you see it brings another arrow indicating down. So you click and drag it down to duplicate and leave. You see, now it's 2. We have 1 and 2. So let's click, press enter and name this top. Then click this and name it bottom. just for clarity. Now we have this bottom selected. You come here, you click this. This is your rotate tool. You click this, then you rotate. You rotate it. Click on your shift key and rotate it 180 degrees. 180 degrees. Then you can see it is two. One up and one down. Let's click out of this perspective view and come to the front viewport. You can see it's two. But we want this bottom, we want this bottom to be lesser. So we come here with this, we come back to the point tool, reduce it from here, reduce it here. We want it to be smaller, and go back to the model tool, raise it up, keep it up. Let's center the anchor point and click out. So let's look at it from the perspective now. Look at how it is. Let's select our live selection tool. Let's see how it is from the perspective. You see, this is how it is. One is bigger and the other is smaller, just the way we have it here. Let's take a look at it. One is bigger, then the other is smaller. But don't worry about the size yet. We can always increase that if we want it bigger. If we want this bigger, we can always increase it. So now let's go and make this a solid mesh. So we come here and we click extrude. With the extrude tool selected, we're going to take this top and put it into the extrude. You click and drag it up. You see, it has become a solid mesh. You see this? We go back again, take another extrude, click and drag it into it, and they are both solid right now. So, but it looks flat and not as thick as the one we have, the one our preview sample. So what do? We come here, we increase it here. Let's make it 60. 60. Then here, make it 60. That looks, I think we can make it bigger. Let's take it to 70. 70, or let's try 80. Okay, I think 80 is good. Then go back here, 80. Okay. Okay, so let's rename it bottom. Take this one back to the top for clarity. Bring this down. So this is what we have. I believe you should have something like this also. Like this. So let's take the bottom and drag it up. Yeah. Okay, so it's close to the other. Okay, so we come here, the top. Let's start with the top. Right now, we're going to create the edge, this beveled edge. Let's look at it again. See, there's a beveled edge here. There's a beveled edge here. It's not sharp. It's not a sharp edge, it's a beveled edge. We need to create this edge. So to create that, let's look at it closely. Look at it right. See, it's sharp here. This edge is sharp here. So we'll come to curves. I'll change it to fillet curves. And you see, it's already out. It's beveled. So we change the steps to 3 steps. The same thing with the end. Fillet curves, 3 steps. Let's look at it. You can see. You can see. Now the edge looks shiny. It looks shiny, different from the bottom. So let's do the same thing to the bottom. Go to caps, fillet caps, 3, fillet caps, 3. Now we have it. This is for the front. The start is for the front. Then the end is for the back. Look at the back. Also has it too for the back. So front and back, both edges. So we've gotten that out of the way. Then the next thing we're going to do, let's get our text. Let's get our text. This end text. Today we're creating our own logo, silent icon, probably the best icon, best logo in the world for now. So to create that, we'll come to MoGraph, MoGraph text, MoText. Now with the text selected, this is the text selected, drag it out so you can see it, drag it out. Come to the object, and you can type whatever you want. For me, I'm going to use the best logo, silent icon, the best logo. So it's very big, so we can make it smaller here. Come down to the height, change the height to 80, small, and alignment to middle, align it in the middle. Then let's click here. You can click here to change viewport, to go to the front view. This is the front view. So you come click here to enlarge it. And let's zoom in a little bit. Now let's center this text. Let's center this text. We just eyeball it and align it to the middle. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's change this to bold. I want it bold. That's good. Okay, so we can click out. Then from the top view, we can align it to touch. That's perfect. That's good. Click out. So now let's take a look at it from the perspective again. And this is it. This is what we have. So I think 80 is small. Let's try 85. 85 or 90. Okay, 90 is okay. 90 is good. 90 is good. So right now what we have our logo almost set. Logo is almost set. So we need to come here. Let's create the edge. So go to come up here and choose sphere. Choose the sphere, click it, rotate and look at it from the side. So let's go to the front viewport and centralize it. Okay, it's in the middle already. Snap to it. Let's increase it to 150. The radius to 150. Okay, 150 is good. Now you can come to the display and look at the shadings. You can see the shadings. So let's increase the shadings to make it smoother. To make it smoother. Increase the segments to 100. Want it smooth, rounded. Yes, you see it now. It's well rounded. Well rounded. So that's good. That's better. That's good. So let's take this inside. So you hold shift and move it in with the Z axis, on the Z axis. And it snaps. to 30 centimeters. So this is good. So now let's create the opening. We want to create the opening for our heads. We want to create the opening for it. So what do? We come here, we click, and we choose the bowl. Now this top, click and drag into the bowl. Let's look at it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay. So we now click the spare and take the spare under into the bowl, but under the top. So the arrow is showing you is going under, and automatically you see it goes in and creates this hole. And you see you have the hole there. So let's click. Let's duplicate this spare because we want it perfectly centered in there. So we click this same spare. With the spare selected, click and hold your command key or your control key if you're using Windows, and click and drag to duplicate it. And we have another one in that spare. We come here to the object, and we're going to reduce the scale. We're going to reduce the scale. To create this opening. You can see there's an opening in here. It's an opening here and it fills it up. So we're going to reduce the scale. Reduce the scale with the radius. We're going to reduce the radius. Make it 100. 100 is too much. Let's make it 120. Okay, look at it. And this is 120, and it's good. Let's take a look at this. Now this is the preview, a render view. Render preview. So let's create, let's add some light to the scene to make it give it its proper shade. So light. And just follow me. I'm trying to be a little bit fast, but you can follow me. Come to the shadow and change it to shadow map soft. So we have soft shadow there. So let's duplicate the light. Click on Control and move this from the x-axis. Move it again. So we can eliminate the shadow on the sides. Let's preview. Now this is better. So we can start creating our texture. But before then, let's set our camera. So we come to camera, click and hold, and choose the free camera. You activate it here. This is the activation port. You click it. then the camera is in view. So you can position it the way you want. Then you click out. Now if you zoom out of this, you can see the camera is there. This is the camera, and this is the view, the camera view. So I want this camera fixed on this view, so we can move around with this outside the camera view. And anytime I want to go back to look at the camera view, click here to activate the camera view. This is where you activate the camera view. Out, activate. So when you move it in the camera view, you're changing the camera view. So we want it there fixed, and we'll click out. So now let's continue with our material creation. So now we're going to give this the colors. We're going to color this, like you see. We're going to give this the color, the orange color. So let's come here. So we double click here, and that creates a new material for us. Double click on the material to open it. Let's give some room here. Expand this. So select the color, and let's change that color. Increase it here. And let's make this light orange. Just something light orange. Okay, light orange. We're going to create fast reflection. Just click on the reflection, come to add, click add, then let's choose the Beckman. Then reduce layer 1, reduce it to 50. Then the default specular reduces to 50 also. Now let's take it to 20. 20 is okay, and 20 also. That's good. So we can click and drag it on the top. So we have it here. Nice here. You see it. You see. So let's double click this. Let's duplicate this material. So you always hold your control and drag to duplicate materials. So control drag, duplicate it, then double click it, open it. Then change the color to white. I want it to be white. Just change the color to white. Leave every other thing the way it is. Then click the white and drag it to the same top. Now it changes to white. And if you look here, you see we have two materials on this mesh, two materials there. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create this white edge. We're trying to create this white edge here, the white edge. So just click on this material tag here, the texture tag I mean. Then come to selection and type R1. And you see we have that created already. You see, so just like it is here, like it is there. So let's go on. Then we're going to duplicate this white material also again. I'll change this to gray, darkish, little darkish. Let's make it darkish for the bottom. And click and drag it to the bottom. Yes, in the bottom. Then we'll click the white, the pure white, again to the same bottom. Just like we did on the top, I will type R1 to give it that brighter edge, here, just like it's here. You can see it here. You can see it here. So now let's now add the same color to our text. Let's add the color to our text and give it the same edge also. So click this and drag it to our text. This is our more text. Click it here. Then if you look at the text, you see that we've not given it the same beveled edges like we have this other one. So let's quickly do that. So we come to caps, take our fillet caps, change this to 3. The radius, we can reduce the radius to 3. Okay, I think that's okay. So let's click the white, add it to the text, click the texture tag, and type R1. So we have that on our text. So let's go to the camera view and render preview. So you can increase the thickness of this if you wish. If it's not thick enough for you, you can increase the thickness of this. If you would like to do that, to make it thick, to look more 3D, just to increase this to 90. Then let's come here, 90 also. Let's make it thick. So like it thick and blocky. Okay, yes, it's good. It's good. It's good. Okay. So let's add this pair. I have this texture already. It's just the texture of a flat earth, an image of a flat earth. So you can just can get this texture from Google. You can get this texture from Google. Just import it into your Cinema 4D, and it becomes the material. So click and drag it to the sphere. Oh, not that one, to this one. Yes. Let's take a look. Beautiful. Beautiful. So let's create. I think I'm okay. Everything is set. Everything is set for the creation of the logo. Set. So now let's begin to add life to this our logo right now, because you see it's just a flat logo. I mean a static logo, no motion. So let's begin to add life to it. And to do that, let's start with let's start with the text. So you click on the more text. You can double click on it to change the name if you wish to know what your, for clarity, I mean. So with the text selected, you come to Move Graph Effector and we choose the plane. Now immediately we activated the plane, the text jumped up. It was here before and it went up. It went up, and that's because by default it's set to 100 here. So I like this and change it to 0. It goes back to its normal position. So we're going to affect this text on the z-axis. So let's change this to 100. That's not much, but it will enable us to see how far the text is going. Click out. Let's go 200. Now make it minus 200 to come to the front. Bring it forward, minus 200. Then select the plane. Let's change the fall off shape to linear. And this is it, linear. We're going to rotate this linear. We're going to rotate this. So choose this rotate tool, and we're rotating this on the y-axis. So rotate and hold shift to snap it minus 90 degrees. So we just did that minus 90 degrees. If you look at it, it's half minus 90 degrees. Then we choose the move tool. Choose the move tool. Then move this on the z-axis. Move it like this. You see? You can move it forward, move it backward, move it forward. Like this. When you move it, it goes back and front, back and front. So we'll go back to the plane, click on the plane, click invert. Let's invert the movement of that text. This. That's how we want it. Good. So we leave this at the beginning point, just before the starting here. Here. Come to the position. Look at it. As we're moving it, you see it's moving on the x-axis. You see it's moving on the x-axis. You see it's on the x-axis. So just move it to the edge, just before it affects the text. Then click on this. Just click this to turn it red. We're creating a marker here. Then move this to the end. Let's take it 150. Make it 150. Increase 150. Click this to snap to the end. From here, we'll move it like this to the end. Just at the end. Okay. So now if we go and play and look at what we've done, see this. See that? See that? Okay, good. So let's go back to the plane parameter and change it to 2000. And under 0 to take it very far. And let's go back and see. Now you see. You see that? You can activate your camera and look at it. Good. So let's add, go back with the text selected. Let's go to MoGraph, Effector, and Delay. Click on Delay. Now let's increase the delay. Let's increase the delay to 80. Now go back and play it and see. There's a soft landing. It's giving it a soft landing. You see it? It's giving the text a soft landing. Okay, that's good. So now with that out of the way, we're going to parent this text to the bottom plate. This bottom. We're going to parent them together. We're going to join them together. So click on the tool, hold your control key and click on both. Then press Alt G on your keyboard. Alt G. It groups the both of them together. So double click this and name it bottom. capital letter. Bottom. Now that's the bottom. Then the top. This is the top. We'll parent this sphere, and the bowl together. Alt G. We'll click it and change it to top. I'll keep making that same mistake. Top there. So now you see both of them, they are together. We'll group them together. Group this one together. So when we move the bottom, we'll move the both of them. So now let's animate this. I will start with the top. So you click the top, go to the beginning of this timeline. Click here to go to the beginning of the timeline. Make sure you're at the beginning, the starting point. Click the top, then come to the coordinates. Okay, leave deactivate your camera. Come out of the camera view so you can see the view. You can see the movement of it. So we're going to move this top, rotate it just here, rotate, you see. Now we can rotate it 90. Let's do minus 90. Let's do minus 90. We click on that and come to 100 on the timeline and change this back to 0 and click out. So now let's activate the camera and look at what we've done. Let's go back. You see that? Let's do the same thing to the bottom. So go to the end, come out of the camera so you can see it very well. Then select the bottom and rotate this 90. Then click here, come to 100, and go to 0, and click it 0. Change it. So now when you play, you see there's a scissors-like closing. The scissors kind of close. Let's activate the camera to see it very well from the camera view. See that? Good. So let's push this forward. So select your camera and let's change the camera focal length. Change it to 25. Okay, I think I like that. Now when you make this kind of mistake, you suddenly change the view. When you mistakenly change the view, you can always come to your view here and undo. It goes back, so it helps you. That's a quick fix. So if you run through that kind of mistake, if you go through that kind of mistake, you can always do that to get it fixed instead of trying to reposition it. So let's play the animation and see. Okay, good. Okay. So now we'll go back to the beginning again and we're moving the bottom. Let's move it. Now we're going to animate this. So let's come to 100. At 100, click here to record, to drop it, to add a keyframe here. Then go to 100, go to 0, and let's move this towards the camera. Just move it towards the camera on the x-axis. Do the z-axis. Just move it towards the camera. You can see that. Position it just towards the camera and click. So let's play. You see that? Okay, good. So we'll do the same thing for the camera. Click the camera and add a keyframe at the beginning of the camera. Then go to the end and position the camera to look at our logo in full. I'm at a keyframe. So let's play and see. Let's take that to 100. Drag it to 100. Okay, so go back to the beginning and let's add a tilt, a camera tilt. Let's tilt it. "28, 29, 30 degrees." Add a keyframe. Then now play and see. So you can zoom out a little bit. Zoom a little bit. Keyframe. Let's go back. So you can just position this the way you want. Just so this is okay. So now let's rotate the earth sphere. Go to the beginning point, then add a keyframe here. Then we'll go to the end and rotate it 360 degrees. Add a keyframe. I want a full rotation, so let's play this and see. Okay. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to add reflection. Choose a plane. Increase this. I'll come here, change it to the rotation. Use it to Z. Change it to Z. Right. Create another new material. Double click here. Remove the reflectance. Remove the color and just click on luminance. We don't need the luminance. Now click and drag it to it. Just add it to the viewport direct like this. So let's look at it. activate your camera. So come here, let's look at what that will do for us. You choose this interactive render region and you can drag up. So this is giving you a live render as you manipulate in the other viewport. So drag this up. I want this reflection to go up to cover here. So I can drag this up. See, it's almost, yeah, so that's it. So make this wider, and I have this here like this. So now I can remove this. Let's go back here and expand it. I have this reflection here. That's what I want. That's good. So this is almost done. So let's create our background, because for now, if you look at it, we have a black background. So let's create our background. So click and choose background. And this is the background. So double click to create a new material. Just open the material. And since the background is going to be, this is a flat background, so let's change this to plain. I want it to be plain. Of the reflectance, just the color. We're going to work on just this with this color. So texture, gradient. Now let's change this gradient to circular. I want it circular. So double click on this white and let's choose, just eyeball it and try to get the orange, but a darker orange. Then this a lighter orange. Like this. So we have something like this. It's a gradient, darker on the edges and brighter in the middle. So let's close this. We can always adjust that. So click on that material, drop it on the background. Yeah. And let's run that preview. So that's what we have. So when you play, let's go to the end. Run that preview. So we can make it darker. We can make it, more. We can darken it more. We can darken it more and darken this one also. Okay. Okay. That's good. So that's for adjust the camera and try to make it centralized just by eyeballing it and centralize it. So this is our final animation. Let's take a look. Good, it's beautiful. So let's add the settings. Go to effects. We can have ambient occlusion. Add that. So we want this earth to cover this, the hole here, the opening. We want the earth to cover the opening. while it's being animated. So we'll do that with the radius. So from the beginning, play when it's almost okay. From 50, we click on the radius, and when it's 100, we change it to 150. So let's play that and see. Let's look at it. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed it, and pardon me for being slow. I'm trying to allow beginners to catch up. The subsequent tutorial will be a bit faster. So I hope you learned something from this, and you can always go back and play the tutorial over. And please subscribe to this channel to encourage me to always create more tutorials. The more subscribers and like I see, and whatever your suggestions, you can always drop a comment to help me get better. You can always help me get better by commenting on this video. Just drop a comment, and if you have a tutorial suggestion you'd like me to do, you can also comment it there. And please always like to encourage me. Like, subscribe. Like, subscribe. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. That is the encouragement I need. Thank you very much.